Welcome to the Female Season podcast, where we embrace growth, confidence, and the journey of becoming our best selves together. Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Female Season podcast. I'm your host, Ari Bryant, and I want to kind of dabble into, knowing when it's time for you to leave your job. So I think that this is really an important topic, especially right now as we are in the summer, transition into the fall, and there's a lot of opportunities right now that's available on, LinkedIn or just in general. A lot of companies are hiring right now, but I think that, the signs are right in our face, and knowing when it's time to leave your job, I think that's really, really important. So whether it could be the energy, the environment, or the pay, sometimes you have to just stop pushing through and start paying attention to what your career is costing you. So first, let's start with the environment. If your job feels like high school or worse, like a never-ending story of Survivor, it's really time to reevaluate things. Okay, let's be clear with that. That's not acceptable. So, you know what I mean. I'm talking about the drama, the passive aggression, the fake smiles, the back-to-back tension. Like when work culture feels toxic and your energy is constantly depleted, it's no longer just a job, it's an emotional weight. And let's be real, we sometimes mask our feelings about these environments. We ignore how drained or anxious we feel because either we're afraid to leave, something we work so hard to get, or it feels familiar, maybe it mirrors chaos we've normalized in other parts of our life, or, we don't want to start over. So, the truth is there's no amount of experience, status, or potential that's worth your mental or emotional health. And yes, you can talk to your manager, but let's be honest, sometimes they're part of the problem. And when they're not, they may be too detached to even notice the toxicity. Either way, it gets tricky. The second sign is when the job no longer supports your life. Here's the thing. Your responsibilities, your needs, your lifestyle, it evolves. But if your paycheck doesn't, that job might be holding you back. Seriously. So if you find yourself living paycheck to paycheck, feeling like your income isn't growing with your expenses, or you're doing 3 roles for the price of one, it's time to look at options. Start by first asking for a raise. Be strategic, bring data, highlight your contributions, but also don't be afraid to job shop quietly. Sometimes bringing in a competitive offer is a push a company needs to finally value you. And if they won't match it, that says everything you need to know. So there's no timeline that makes tolerating a toxic or underpaying job okay. So whether it's been 3 months or 3 years, if it's not serving your growth, your goals, or your peace, it might be time to go. Listen to your body, tune into your emotion, and trust that choosing yourself will never be the wrong decision. You deserve a workplace that values your brilliance and your well-being. So that leads me to say that, don't take too much time being in one particular job. Times have definitely changed too. I know in the past, it didn't look good unless you were at a job for 2 years or 1 year or 5 years. Things have really shifted because at the end of the day, if a job wants you, they're going to get you, regardless if you only been there for a couple of months. If they see your skill set and you have transferable skills or you have a great work experience and you interview really, really well, a lot of times they're not even thinking about how short you were at one particular place. And sometimes moving around is what helps your salary increase, unfortunately. Sometimes you can leave one job, work somewhere else, and come back and get paid way more than what you were getting paid. And, I just look at it like this. You shouldn't stay anywhere too long if it is, toxic or if it's underpaying. And hear me out. I was a person who really, really believed, hey, I will sacrifice my income for a role that feels much better. It feels like I'm passionate about it. I'm happy about it. But when those bills come and you feel like you're struggling check to check, or if you feel like oh my God, like this is not enough, then it's time to go ahead and make that move. And it's really unfortunate sometimes where, if you choose to stay at a job and say it's a wonderful environment, sometimes, you might be willing to just stay there, but then for you to, live your life and not live paycheck to paycheck, you might have to get a second job. And so you're working a full-time job and now you have a part-time job too, just to, stay afloat. That is too much. It is too much. So at least it's too much for me. And I feel like when things are overwhelming, when it's too much on your plate, that's when things can turn toxic, or things can just be not great for your mental health and not great for your physical health as well. So it's just something to consider. So this is, like I said, it's a great opportunity right now to start looking around, and it is nothing wrong with shopping around to, like I said, see if another job is willing to take you, see how much they're offering you. And if you love your job that much, you can bring that offer to them to see if they can match it. So that could be good or bad. The good thing is, they agree and they decide to match your salary. But the bad thing could be that, they won't match it, or they may now be paranoid that you're going to leave them. So just make sure you're making the best steps that are best for you. So I want to thank you for tuning in to this mini but mighty episode on the Female Season Podcast. And share it with a friend, tag us online, and remember, you don't have to settle, not in your job, not in your life. So until next time, just choose peace, growth, and always choose you.